Well, let's shift focus away from the equity markets and let's focus on the commodity markets. Manisha Gupta is here with us early this morning to run us through all the cues coming in from there. Hey, Manisha, good morning.
Hey, Nigel, morning, and thank you so much. Well, yes, the crude oil prices have continued to be under pressure as we are looking at increase in supplies from the three major producers like the Russia, Saudi Arabia, and U.S. And if you look at the calculated total output from these two countries, this is the third of the global demand at 33 million barrels is what we saw in the month of September and is expected to be for this month as well. The other thing really is about the U.S.-China trade war that just seems to be intensifying yet again. The demand estimates have continued to be on the weaker side. It's only the U.S. sanctions on Iran that the markets would want to watch out for, the uncertainty building around that, as it's just a week away. That is what will keep the markets and the speculative positions choppy. But otherwise, there is some pressure that we would continue to see in this space. One quick word on the metal space, where we have seen some pressure yet again. With the US dollar index trading at a 10-week highs, you have seen gold prices, copper, zinc, all of that open slightly on the weaker note today.
Okay, Manisha, thank you so much for getting us all the cues from the commodity space. But let's now go across to Mangalam, who's standing by to tell us how the cues look like from the derivative space. Mangalam, over to you.
Well, they look positive, Anisha, especially from the index options space. However, tell you what, the FIIs, they were selling at the Nifty when it was at around 10,000. There was no reason for them to not sell in the cash market when the Nifty moved to closer to 10,250 in yesterday's trading session. So 2,200 crore worth sale out there. The domestic investors, institutional investors went ahead and lapped up around 2,500 crores in the cash market itself. What was interesting was in the index futures space, while the FIIs net bought about 280 odd crores, they were a little ambivalent out there because 9,000 long positions added. This compared with about 8,000 short contracts added. And remember, the FIIs are still 69% short in index futures. In index options, however, there was a different story. 2,200 crore worth purchase out there in index options. Majority of that deployed towards purchase of long calls in anticipation of a further up move for our market. So 27,000 long calls added, 4,000 thereabouts short calls covered, and that is what also led to a bit of an up move on our markets. In index puts, yes, there were a few long puts added, but 8,700 short contracts added on index puts, and that's telling you that the street is bracing itself for a support. Where is that support? 10,200 put. That one added a fair amount of open interest for a premium of around that 200 rupees mark. So that's telling you that the street believes 10,000 is a mark which will hold on. Incidentally, our series low is around 10,004 as well. We saw some writing at the 10,000 put, and the 10,500 call saw some shorts running for cover. Importantly, there was purchase in stock futures in excess of 2,000 crores, and majority of that was deployed towards a lot of fresh longs that were added in the banking space, ICICI Bank, as well as some pharmaceutical stocks. All of them should be up for you on your screen.
Thanks so much for that, Mangalam. Well, in our coverage of the Finance Minister Arun Jaitley's speech on Saturday, we had erroneously referred to a comment he made about investigative adventurism as political adventurism. We deeply regret the error, and here is the exact quote of what the Finance Minister had said. All I will say is the country is taller than any institution. Dealing with non-accountable institutions, a major challenge today. Can non-accountability be a ground for investigative adventurism at the centre or the states? It's only the elected who are accountable. End of quote.
Okay, on that note, let's do one thing. Let's wrap up the show on Power Breakfast because that's all the time we had. Stay tuned for Bazaar Morning Call.